to the Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show. I'm your host, the Thorn City Podcast Guy. We shine a spotlight on businesses, brands, individuals, and visionary entrepreneurs, covering their secrets to turning dreams into reality. Join us for engaging discussions and stories that will leave you inspired and ready to take your business to the next level. In today's episode, I have the honor of sitting down with my best friend, Third Twin, from our beginnings to his transformation into a community leader. Third Twin's journey is a story of resilience, growth, and the power of honesty. We'll dive deep into his experiences, his music, and our projects that have shaped his path. Thorn City Podcast Guy, let's go.
Welcome to the Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show. I'm your host, the Thorn City Podcast Guy. First episode, I had to bring my guy, my best friend, Third Twin. Some of y'all know him as Roy Moore the Third, but it's my best friend. And let me tell it, he's the best rapper in the world. But he always say there's no best, there's only favorites, so he's my favorite.
Yes, there's only
but I'm gonna say he's the best, and we gonna get into a little bit of why I feel that way.
Yes, sir.
How we doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm happy to be on here.
Yeah.
My guy has his first podcast.
Yes.
Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thought?
Right. So I had to come on here, man, to support you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just excited for you, and I'm excited to be on here. Let's do it. Let's talk about it, man.
Man, yeah. I would have never thought I'd be doing a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody know me, I like to chill and stay behind the scenes. But it's what they say. It's time for me to come outside.
No, let me explain to the audience. Like, it's a big deal that you're doing this. Like, this is you coming out of your shell. You've always been the man behind the scene.
Yep.
See, back in the day, we called you Naeem, the man of many schemes, because you used to scheme on the low. So this is big time.
Yeah. So yeah, let me tell you about Thorn City Syndicate and GMP Podcast Group.
Mm-hmm.
Thorn City Syndicate's a management company. I started to help my friend out, Roy, because he's a rapper, and I needed him to rap.
Mm-hmm.
And so in order for me to get him to rap, I decided to pay for my own album. And so the Thorn City Syndicate kind of spiraled into podcasting and me becoming the project manager over at GMP Podcast Group. So why I'm starting the show is I'm at the point in business where it's really time for me to scale the business. We want to scale the business. And so for that to happen, I believe it's about networking and forming some strategic alliances and partnerships. So that's what the show's about, the power of networking and forming strategic alliances. And so in a nutshell, that's business and that's podcasting.
Yeah.
It's a big network. So that's where we at. So today, we're going to call this the Honesty episode. We're going to highlight Third Twin's remarkable journey and transformation in life. Because that's what we did. And so we got a project, an EP, and we got a music video, an award-winning music video, by the way.
Award-winning, several times over.
And so I just kind of wish we had a platform like this when we launched that project.
Man.
You know. So we'll get into a little bit about how it all started, and then we'll go into a little bit about Third's childhood struggles and his journey to recovery, and then we'll talk about the impact and healing in the community.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So what we're going to do now is we're going to play the Honesty music video.
Let's do it.
Man, teardrops fall. Where you at? I miss you, bro. You know, it's right here. It's a little razzle dazzle. It's a long way to heaven when you're halfway to hell. Got my heart long way to heaven. Talk to me. Now, I ain't never been much, but a fuck up in a low life, sadistic, restricted my whole life, and I'm Christ-like. So of course they throw stones, got me pulling out my hair, screaming, leave me alone. And I came across scrutiny, had niggas shooting me, got a scar patch, came back shooting stupidly. What you niggas do to me? I used to be innocent, now I'm so sick I need medical benefits. Survived 3 raids, and I ain't been to jail yet. Had bullets come close, but I ain't been to hell yet. A champ, and I put that on my my meal like stamps. I got hit with a 4-5 and walked it off like a cramp. Gangster, I was destined to be, cause the block I was watching was the Sesame Street. Counting the drug addicts, that was the mathematics. The only big bird I ever saw was wrapped in plastic. We learned the alphabets, throwing up our sets. B's and C's and the D's got no respect. And I was too consumed with blowing up like balloons, cause I was watching buffoons when they was watching cartoons. I'm turfed up, so I gotta keep it loaded and cocked. For these niggas that I keep seeing circle the block, I can't stop throwing up this, acting a fool. I know it's wrong, but fuck it, this is the life I choose. And I saw it in 98, back when Michael killed Chris after the smoke cleared. Checking my body, see if I'm hit. It's only 2 ways out in this gang banging and cane slanging. Them county blues are shaking hands with that man Satan. My cousin got AIDS, that nigga still living though. My mama disabled and I just lost my big bro. Close to the edge and I think I'm finna jump, yo. Gun to my head, pull the trigger, let my brains blow. Suicidal thoughts, man, what happened to my think strong? Life kicked the nigga in his ass with the cleats on. I'm feeling like my son don't love me, he's so far away. I need to be a better father, maybe I should start today. Pop another pill, cause I'm ill, man, I'm sick of this. Maybe I should 12-step my way to ridiculous. Alcohol dreams had me pissing in the kitchen, and maybe they'll finally listen when I'm gone and I'm missing. I'm crying out for help, man, your boy fucked up, I'm drinking heavily. My addict addiction is turned up, it's like if it wasn't for bad, I wouldn't have no luck. I'm slipping, falling, and I can't get up. Yeah, I wouldn't have no luck. I'm slipping, falling, and I can't get up. If it wasn't for bad, I wouldn't have no luck. I'm slipping, falling, and I can't get up. Good talk. It's a long way to heaven, but you halfway to hell. Might as well. Long way to heaven, but you halfway to hell. A long way to heaven, but you halfway to hell. This is dedicated to D9 Bradley, Marco Moore, Christopher Sight. Love y'all niggas. Miss y'all niggas. Forever mine.
Welcome back to the Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show. Third twin in the building.
In the building.
So, let's talk about how it started. You know, basically, you inspired me to start.
I did?
You did.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Okay.
You inspired me to start my management company.
Okay.
To get into the business world. And then that kind of turned in me podcasting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about the Honesty music video and EP. How do you feel about that?
Well, first of all, I want to start by saying you were always my biggest supporter and fan, right? So when we talk about this manifesting itself into you doing what you're doing now, I think you always had a business mindset. Mm-hmm. You were always super responsible. You know what I mean? Even before you were managing me, remember you made sure I got everywhere on time.
Before I was managing you, I was managing you.
Was managing me. Right. So you already had that mindset. And once again, in order to support somebody the way that you supported me, we had to be friends first. I believe. You know what I mean? Yep. But I remember when you came to me, because the backstory is you were there the whole journey. You were there the first time I put the pencil down. Remember that?
I remember when you threw the pad away, and I was like, Troy, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was
like, man, I don't need that no more.
This is before Jay-Z made it popular, before Lil Wayne was even a rapper. You know, he wasn't even thought of. This is literally 96, 97.
Long time ago,
right? And so when we get to talking about honesty, the backstory behind that is I had stopped rapping. You know, stop pursuing rapping and stop, you know, making it my job. And I just wasn't rapping like that. You know, I would get high, or we'd be riding or something, and I'd kick something, and you'd be like, you know, so you knew I still had it.
Still had it.
And so when you came to me, you were like, man, just, Well, you knew I had some fire verses that I kind of was still like finishing up.
You was holding on to them.
But I was like trying to get them there. And so, you always were a part of that process. So you were like, man, just give me like 4 songs. Remember that?
Yeah.
Something to that effect. Like, give me like 4 songs. And Honesty was one of those ones. And I think early off, we knew that we had something with Honesty.
Yeah, honestly, that was the one because I don't know where I think y'all was at Shelly's house.
Yep.
In the garage.
Mm-hmm.
And your nephew, Dominique, he recorded it.
Yep.
And you spit that verse, and I don't know where I was at when I seen it. I was like, damn, my bro's going through it, man. I got to do something.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something.
And I think that line, I'm crying out for help, man. Your boy fucked up. Really
Yep,
got to
but you know what I heard was I'm crying out for help, name your boy fucked up. That's what I heard.
The call out to you. That's what you
So
heard.
I felt like you was talking to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And so the Honesty music video, we put into some film festivals. We screened it all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
I got to travel to a couple different states and actually see the impact that song had on people who have no clue of who you are or who we are, and they just really received the powerful message that was in that song.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really, really poetic.
And I think the people who worked on the whole project with us, like the Justins, the Panda, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they all were really impacted. I think that would compel them to really want to work on it with us. So it all was a perfect storm that came together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You created a team, you developed a team that was perfect for that song.
Yep.
And then we put in the work, man, and yeah, it was received well.
Yeah. And so that's another reason why I'm starting this podcast, because I'm at a point here. When I started the business, I would say what I have now here at GMP Podcast Group Studios is what I always wanted. I have a real business.
Yeah, and I think you were called to it. Even with your catchphrase, what is it? The power
of networking and forming strategic alliances.
Like that's you doing it, right?
That's
so
it.
That's the message, and so that's the way you live. That's your vision. So you got to bring it to them. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
I think that's But you watching me. So you got some practice because you watched me.
I did.
You watched me on that stage. So it was just a matter of time for you.
Yeah, and it wasn't a matter of can I do it.
Yeah.
It's just did I want to do it?
You want to do it?
That I want to do it. And so I got to the point where I'm at now. It's like I want to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So we doing it.
Yeah, and you're good at it. I think it's something that you had no idea that you might really like doing, but shine in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is tight.
Yeah.
For me to see this happening.
Yeah, I think that's one. People say they got superpowers.
Yeah.
I think one of my powers is I do stuff, and it just happens.
It happens.
It happens.
Where it all started was in Miami when you grabbed that mic.
Oh, they passed me the mic.
Hey, we was in Miami. I needed a hype man.
Yeah.
See, we set the tone back
we
then.
did. Man, I wish they never sent us that footage, man. I wish we had that footage.
King of Diamonds, right?
King of Diamonds.
King of Diamonds.
I think they tore it
Miami.
down.
They did.
But that was a big place, a big
Grabbed
stage
that
we stepped
mic.
onto.
Yeah, you grabbed. I
grabbed
said, "Oh, okay. I got him there. Let's go." No,
Oh man, that's crazy.
no, we've done some amazing things together, man. And, well, back to Honesty, because of you and your faith in me and your support for me, Honesty was made. But I know we're gonna talk about this, but that truly. That process, what happened during the Honesty video and the process of Honesty, I know is probably the most significant moment in my life for me to change and be where I am now. You know what I mean? It really, really is.
That was like a real deal music video.
It's a real deal.
You had a whole staff of people working for
I
you.
had never experienced nothing
Like that.
Oh my God, I felt so tight. A real budget. I mean, a makeup artist, a stylist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was really something to experience. You guys try to keep the leashes on me too, but I was sneaking having these shots.
Hey, you had to get it.
Yeah.
Whatever keep you going and keep you on point.
Right.
Nobody would have never knew, but I knew.
Yeah, you knew. Yeah, but you for the most part, I held it together.
You
Yeah,
did.
and
No,
we did it
by far. So like you said, we had the whole crew.
Yeah.
It was a shout out to the Panda Brothers. They did their thing.
Right.
We really we kind of stumbled on him on accident. We really just I put out an ad
that.
onto Craigslist.
Yeah, I remember that.
We were just looking for somebody to do the script, take the script and turn it into a storyboard. Yeah.
Storyboard, yeah.
And they end up doing what they call it, an animatic storyboard.
Yeah.
It's an animated storyboard. It was tight.
Yeah.
And so once they did that, they reached out to us and they was like, man, who do you have shooting this video for you? Who's directing it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like, well, we knew about the Panda Brothers.
Yep. I remember that.
We know they're big in the comic world. So we was like, hey, maybe you should do it.
I remember Justin was like, no, they're huge. They're like important. I was like, okay, I trust you.
So yeah, and then they brung Stephanie, Miss Tishner. Shout out to Stephanie
Shout out
Tishner.
to Stephanie, man. She gave me that cigarette case.
You still got that?
I still got that. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but I still got the case.
Oh, you still ain't smoked?
Oh man, I got 90 days in.
What? Oh, tight. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm done now.
Man, you ain't got nothing left to give up.
Man, yeah. Well, I'm about to get buff and I'm about to
get buff?
I'm about to give up some pounds. Stop eating these sweets. But that's the next thing.
That's the next thing is the sweets?
Yeah, next thing is the sweets. Yeah.
Wow. Man, this is crazy, man. It's the Spotlight Show.
Yeah.
So what we going to do, we're going to take a break here. Well, we're not going to do a break. It's going to be we're going to do a song. But when we come back, we're going to talk about Third Twin's early childhood struggles and his journey to recovery.
So much pain. So much motherfucking pain. That's why I got them painkillers on me. Yeah. I know what the streets did to me. Y'all niggas couldn't tell my story. Hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't live my glory. Hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't write my book. Couldn't walk in my shoes without breaking a foot. Hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't tell my story. Hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't live my glory. Hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't write my book. Couldn't walk in my shoes without breaking a foot. Hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't walk inside these 95s. Cause I've been crucified like the day Jesus died. Shot with a 4-5 and yet I'm still alive. I done been through hell and back and somehow I survived. The product of a broken home. Listen to my vocal tone. You can hear the pain in my voice through this microphone. Give me heaven or I'ma raise hell. Cause I was raised in hell. Really raised in hell. When niggas is scared to make it but they ain't afraid to fail. I never thought I'd go to college but I knew I'd see a sale. So fuck it, I might as well. The ballad of a have-not. Still having dreams about screams and the gunshots. My brother died from what I'm getting high on. The painkillers, I guess they really kill the pain, huh? My mama passed and it's hard not to weep. Before you open your mouth and speak, no, my pain runs deep. And I don't look so sweet, cause I ain't slept in weeks. I got the world on my shoulder and the devil at my feet. Truth be told, I'd be dead without flows. You couldn't walk in these retros without breaking your toes. Y'all niggas couldn't tell my story. Hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't live my glory. Hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't write my book. Couldn't walk in my shoes without breaking a foot. Hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't tell my story. Hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't live my glory. Hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't write my book. Couldn't walk in my shoes without breaking a foot. It started off with gang infected, my brain protected by some hard heads trained to bang dangerous methods. Down a path where the guns don't blast. They explode through your body to your belly button open exposed. And it's hard when you see your friend shot and he crying and he trying, but you know deep inside that he dying. That's me. After that I had heart like a lion. I ain't lying. When the beef get the cook and start frying, and it's crazy that a dope fiend made me. Now it's my life as a dope fiend baby. If I'm not a dead man, then I'm probably gonna die. But I swear I felt alive looking in my son's eyes. And I tried, but the pain kept pounding on my chest. To the point that when I breathed, it was hard to take a breath. At my best, I seen hell and died 100,000 deaths. A foot soldier walking through the nature of the threat. Upset, the sunset and piss off the clouds. Cause the pain, it didn't break me, I just took it and smiled. Now tell me, who's to blame when a child feels pain? And he's afraid to go play cause he's scared of the rain. And mommy ain't around, but he's screaming a name. And then he walks in on daddy shooting dope in his veins. Y'all niggas couldn't tell my story. Hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't live my glory. Hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't write my book. Couldn't walk in my shoes without breaking a foot. Hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't tell my story. Hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't live my glory. Hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't write my book. Couldn't walk in my shoes without breaking a foot. Although I'm doing better than some and worse than others, Shit, I ain't been the same since I lost my brother, since I lost my mother. Feel like the pain's uncovered. Look at my other brother and sis, all we got is each other. And you should never, ever judge a book by its cover. The person you standing over now, you could one day be under. Cause the tables do turn, dark clouds do hover. And trust me, it ain't all gravy when you the one being smothered. From the cradle to the grave, from the womb to the tomb, I'm the best man, like I'm best friends with the groom. And although I was doomed from the sun to the moon, I could only assume that happiness was coming soon. And this is food for thought, I'm just handing you the spoon, feeding you the real, this meal's filet mignon. Cause it's a long way to heaven when you halfway to hell. Honesty was my policy, that's the story I tell. I died for the mic, if my glory is sell. Cause I done lost so much, now I want it back for reals. For reals, that's why I'm running back for reals. Spitting like Emmett Smith, cause I'm running back for real. Truth be told, I'd be dead without flows. You couldn't walk in these retros without breaking your toes. Y'all niggas couldn't tell my story, hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't live my glory, hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't write my book, couldn't walk in my shoes without breaking a foot, hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't tell my story, hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't live my glory, hell no. Y'all niggas couldn't write my book, couldn't walk in my shoes without breaking a foot, hell no. Cause this syndicate lyricist exists.
Welcome back.
Yes. Just might miss.
History in the making, from the making of this. Third, I guess it's welcome back to these words.
So I'ma come well like welcome backwards for sure.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show. I'm your host, the Thorn City Syndicate Podcast Guy. No, Thorn City Podcast Guy. And we got Third Twin in the building today. How we doing, brother?
Man, I'm still doing well, man. This is crazy.
This is a trip, man.
I like it.
It trips me out
It's
that I
dope.
really have this studio here on Burnside
Man,
with my business partner, Justin. He
you don't.
really,
But I didn't mean to cut you off. But you don't
You
know
good.
how many calls I get. Like when people come here and work.
people come here, they call you afterwards?
Yeah, or I'll see them and they'll be so impressed.
Really?
Yeah, or the you bring some of my family members here and they got a chance to see it.
Check it out,
But
yeah.
I'm talking about tons of calls.
Yeah.
Like, man, or I'll run into somebody and they'll be like, bro, I didn't know he had it like that. Yeah, it's tight.
Yeah, it's
tight up here.
it's super tight, man.
Yeah.
I'm really like what we got going on here, and it's really time for us to level up, and so that's why I'm here doing the Spotlight Show. You know, so let's get into your early childhood and journey to recovery. Mm-hmm. Any challenging circumstances? Talk a little bit about when your life took the dark turn and you became addicted, and in a sense being your own best customer.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Well, it's a trip talking to you because you were there the whole time, right? But I often talk about knowing what I know now, Naeem. It happened a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm genetically pre-exposed to this.
Mm-hmm.
Both my parents were heroin addicts, and when I speak in the recovery world, I say my first rehab was the incubator that I spent the first 6 months of my life in. You know what I mean? And so early off, I think now when I look back on weed, all that stuff, my body couldn't. I was addicted back then. I was grooming myself to be an addict. I had addict behaviors, is what we call it. I was obsessive and compulsive over it, and so I think what we know and what I've learned is that it's a progressive disease, and so after some traumatic events in my life, Chris, early off, started some me internalizing, abusing marijuana, alcohol. You get what I'm saying? Losing my brother to overdose to pills. We used to do pills together. Was probably the deepest, darkest moment of my life. Followed by losing granddaddy, auntie, and then my mom. You know what I mean? Which ultimately just made me spiral into a dark place.
Damn.
It was just a lot, man. The world was changing. You know what I mean? Life, some stuff with my son. My situation. All that stuff played a part. It was like I said, it was a perfect storm of things happening to where I was trying to hold on. You know what I mean? And because I was talented, because I had you guys, and we still had women and stuff like that. My disease didn't get as bad as it could have got. And so I had some things instilled in me, you know what I mean, to where it wouldn't get that bad. But I think, just life, man, and being a product of addicts. Really made me abuse drugs the way I did. You know.
Well, I'm proud of you, brother.
Oh, thank you.
You know, when we started doing the music, that's all I wanted was my friend back.
I know.
You know, I mean, I wanted us to blow up and get rich and get a record contract and all that, but that wasn't why I did it.
I know.
You know,
We talk about it now.
yeah,
but yeah.
I just wanted I wanted my own album.
Yeah, right.
I wanted the album.
And we did that.
And we did that.
You can't
and,
take
know,
that from us, man.
And nobody ever has to hear it, but it was
But us.
It was for me.
It was for yes.
But they gonna hear it
They
because
gonna-
we got the documentary coming. We got the documentary coming. We did put out the EP.
We put out the EP.
So y'all go check it out. It's on all the streaming platforms. If you ain't heard it yet, it's the Honesty EP. It comes with a award-winning music video.
It does, and it's an album of substance. Like
It is.
When I listen to it, like and then like the Nas's of the world and what they're doing, I'm like, I appreciate the album more. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Not only did I make it, and it's hard for me to listen to because I'm in a different place now.
Yeah.
But it's an album of substance that I'm really proud of. I'm proud that we did that.
It's
you know?
real, and it's poetry at its finest.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really
So
is.
let's talk a little about recovery and the role it played in providing structure to you to get your life back on track and your decision to seek help through the 12-step program.
Right. Well, it started with honesty, and we talked about it earlier. Going through that process, and you know, shooting a documentary, and you know, really listening to honesty and where I was at, and seeing you guys investing so much in me, really wanted, you know, I wanted to make some changes. You know what I mean? And then I was able to see the music video, and you know, for those who have seen or who haven't had a chance to experience it, it showcases some dark moments, some things that I realistically were going through, whether I wanted to admit it or not.
Yeah.
They did a good job of capturing that. And so for me to have to see that on screen and recognize that I wrote those lyrics because I was in a place, it really gave me the strength to change my life. And so recovery for me has given me a chance to go back and deal with some of those issues we just talked about, why I was an addict, and ultimately give me freedom. And I found myself, I feel like I'm 15 again, bro. You know what I mean? Like
Started all over.
Started all over, bro. I found, you know, the high school Lil Roy, the things, different things that made me special outside of just spitting lyrics. You know what I mean? And it's amazing, man, because you know, now I'm achieving things I never thought I could or would.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is crazy to me.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the journey of being in recovery to you become the director of the community care team at POIC. And a little bit about what do you do over there?
Well, it's crazy because they say we have a saying in recovery that lost dreams are awoken and new dreams are found. And through recovery, I was able to work on myself. And so what happens is you change like some ideologies, you know what I mean? And what happens is they say there's only one thing you got to change, and that's everything in order to stay clean. And so during that process, I was able to get a job giving back. And I never knew that I would be just as passionate about giving back to my community as I was for music. And so through this journey, I was able to realize that, man, the same way I spit a metaphor and I get the crowd's reaction and they like, ooh, it's the same feeling I get when I show up to the hospital and there's somebody bleeding on the bed after being shot, and I walk in the room and they're like, Lil Roy?
Yeah.
And then I'm able to help them. It's crazy. I never thought I would be doing that, but also have the passion to do it. So I ended up becoming a street level gang outreach worker, was in the streets. You know, we come from that. We come from that background, and we've been through some stuff. So while I was doing that, my life was threatened because, you know, we all got backgrounds. And so my organization had the foresight to get me off the streets because during the time it was a street war going on, and they thought it wasn't safe for me. So I ended up landing in the mayor's office, right?
Crazy.
Why they put a guy like me in the mayor's office, right?
Yeah.
I started really getting busy, you know. Ended up becoming a supervisor, used my rap, my presence and my charisma to do a lot of presentations, rub shoulders with the right people, and I just kind of shot up the ladder. And now, you know, I'm the director of the community care team, and you know, I traveled the nation for this work. I started off with supervising a staff of 4. Now I got 32 staff that I oversee. I think I had one contract. Now I oversee $15 million worth of budget. And Yeah,
That's
it's crazy, right?
That's crazy.
Crazy. Ex-gang member, drug addict. I sit with the U.S. attorneys, attorney generals around the nation. We talk about what I do, and I'm trusted with building this program. And I've done a great job.
Great job. You've been down to the state capitol quite a bit now, too, huh?
Yeah, I go down. Man,
what are you doing at the capitol?
Man, so...
What are you doing at the capitol?
What am I doing at the That's the best question. I don't know. You know what? No, what I realized, Daniel, is that my pain earned me a seat at that table.
Mm-hmm.
And if we as people, if we as the community ain't got a seat at that table, then we're probably on the menu. You know what I mean? So what I do is I go there and I represent.
Yeah.
And what I've learned is a lot of times I'm the smartest person in the room. Believe it or not.
Believe it or not.
For real. And so policies around gun violence, it's a hot topic. I'm what you call a content expert now because of evidence-based best practices that I do, to where I educate them on gun violence and how to support communities suffering from gun violence.
Yeah, that's a trip. You'd be surprised how much knowledge you learn in the streets. And that's why some of the best business people come from the streets, and they made it out. Because they got a different type of hustle, and they got a different type of understanding on how to make things work. So if you can succeed in the streets, you can succeed in the business
Anywhere.
Yeah. But you got to make it out. Not everybody makes it out.
And you helped me make it out, man.
Oh man,
you did that.
Hey, I couldn't let it happen.
I know, man. That's crazy.
We wasn't going down like that.
Like, I don't think that, like, you made sure I had a cell phone.
Well, yeah, we had to make sure we get to the shows.
We had to get to the shows. Man, thank you so much.
Yeah, y'all, man. Oh, man, it was my pleasure.
Son thanks you. My family thanks you. Just thank you, man.
How my godson doing? Grown,
man. Your godson.
My godson. What's up, Lil Roy? I'm sure you'll see this.
Shouts out to Quattro.
Lil Roy.
Yeah, if y'all know Quattro, young Quattro. Yeah.
That's crazy. But man, I'm loving this spotlight show, man. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a break here, and when we come back, we're gonna get into a little bit more about your impact in healing and the role you play in healing in the community.
Okay.
Man, life is hard, man. God bless the child that can hold his own. I came from nothing, I'm just trying to make something. I did what I had to. Against the gun to try and feed my son. I did what I had to. Swallow my pride, I'm just trying to stay alive. I did what I had to. From falling back to pushing a hard line. I did what I had to, and honestly I was glad to. Cause I'ma do whatever it takes to add to my quality of life. Growing up it was tough, the youngest of 4 children. Both parents fucked up. I wonder if God forgives the drug-affected kids. Heroin stuck in my veins from my mama's syringe. Indeed, some things that I truly regret. Walking the streets with my head barely attached to my neck. Flirting with death, and though my footsteps made a mess, if my heart stops now, shit, I did my best. Cause after Pops left, it was hard to stay focused. Switching a different school, another eviction notice. The streets caught my attention, wanna see what that's about. It's hard to finish your homework when electricity is out. So I jumped off the porch head first on the avenue. A brave little boy that's doing what he had to do. Damn. Did what I had to. I came from nothing, I'm just trying to make something. I did what I had to. Against the gun that's trying to feed my son. I did what I had to. Swallow my pride, I'm just trying to stay alive. I did what I had to. From falling back to pushing a hard line. Now the age of 21, she pregnant with a son. It's gut check time, gotta provide bar none. And gotta do the right thing for shorty. So that means no more getting high, drinking 40s, jump back on his feet and got a J.O.B. He bought a car in a 1-bedroom apartment in Southeast. He's stepping up to the plate, cause he's far from a deadbeat. But that don't stop him and her from beefing like red meat. The trials and tribs of kids having kids. What was love is now resentment for all that wrong shit he did. Her parents just left down South Tennessee, and now every time they fight, she threatens him with leaving. As fate would have it, that would come true. Cause when you left on vacay, that's when she left you. Now your son's out of state, and the pain just aches. And it's gonna cost at least $1,000 for you to see him face to face. So now it's fucking 9 to 5, it's time to get that pay. Cause though time flies by, still time don't wait. But so no man has no time to waste. Can't slack or fall back, you gotta pick up the pace. And know I'm far from an angel, and I made my mistakes. I die before I let another man take my place. It's my job to protect and look after you. So just know your dad did what he had to do. I love you, son. I came from nothing, I'm just trying to make something. Against the gun, just trying to feed my son. Swallow my pride, I'm just trying to stay alive. From falling back to pushing a hard line. What man? What power? Hoodoo. 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 You remind me of a man.
Hey, welcome back to the Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Thorn City Podcast Guy.
Thorn City Podcast.
It's all about the power networking and forming strategic alliances and spotlighting individuals, businesses, brands, podcasters. We're just going to bring a spotlight to people. Mm-hmm. That's what we're going to do here. So let's get back to it. Let's talk a little about what you're doing now. The positive influence and healing impact on the community as a respected figure in the recovery and violence prevention world.
Yeah, I think a lot of people know my position. They know where I come from the music to, our life in the streets, from being a drug addict. And so it's given me a platform, similar to music and similar to podcasting, to where I can uplift. Mm-hmm. And a part of my job is to, like I spoke about it a little bit earlier, to go into the hospitals and work with victims. I'm a survivor of gun violence, several times over, almost lost my life, been shot. And so what I know is credible messengers are the best people to work with people suffering. Mm-hmm. Hurt people, and heal people. Mm-hmm. So not only do I get a chance to give my testimony, but I get to hire other people like me. Mm-hmm. So I think my impact in the community is, one, my testimony, being a beacon of hope for people, but hiring other people and empowering them to do the same work. Mm-hmm. And it becomes like a trickle effect. What I mean? I got like predominant rappers who have changed their life working on my team, like well-known gang members who are used to be shooters that are now actually working with my team, giving back to the community. So I think that impact is widespread, and it's amazing. And it's the same way in recovery. Mm-hmm. I get to make recovery look cool. You know what I mean? and show people, especially for us, the stuff that we were involved with, that if you're struggling, it's okay to get help.
It's okay.
Because, it's a stigma around it.
Yes.
I remember being embarrassed early off to say I'm in recovery. Now it's a part of my identity because I'm proud of it. Yeah. I'm proud that I'm living a healthier life.
Well, that's the only way it's going to work. You can't, you got to kind of own it. You can't be afraid of it and scared to admit that's what it is. I mean, that's the whole,
how it works. Step one.
The whole thing. Step one, you got to admit. If you can't admit, then it ain't going to work.
Powerless. It ain't going to work.
It ain't going to work. You relapse before you know it.
Before you know it. Yeah. Because it's like being in denial. Yeah. I got my ass whooped out there. I got my ass whooped out there, and I am not afraid to say it. So, yeah, I think that it's an amazing thing being able to look back on the person I was and who I am now, and recognize that that's a big part of what I do day to day now. Mm-hmm. Is owning that person, but highlighting who I am today. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about some of your personal achievements. As far as I know, you used to drive, but you didn't have your license. So I think you got your license back.
Yeah.
Purchased a car.
All
Think
that.
you're a homeowner now.
I'm a homeowner. Man, I used to
And
be
you're engaged to be married.
engaged to be married.
How'd
man.
that
Who would've
happen?
Thunk it, man. First of all, shout out to my lovely fiance.
Hey, Rachel.
Yeah, shout out to her.
Rachel, she didn't think I liked her at first, huh?
Remember that?
She did. Yeah.
Well, she's like that, ain't
Well,
she's just
it wasn't
sensitive.
her. It was where you both were at.
Where we were
I didn't
at.
like where you guys
Yep.
were at.
Yep.
And so
And she's a big part of my story because
She is.
we were in our addiction together and we got clean together.
yes, I
And
remember
I-
you first met her.
First met her. I met her the day my mom died.
Mom at the hospital. I remember. She ain't left your side
Ain't
since.
left my side since.
That's
you know
crazy.
what I mean? Yep. Yeah. And so, man, I mean, I love her to death, and she's seen me at my worst, and she's helped me become the best man. You know, what I mean? I've been with lots of women, never had I have a love like this, like
Yeah.
a rock. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, shouts out to Rachel, man. That's gonna be my wife the rest of my life. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, that's
found
tight.
love, man. Yeah, man. And no L's, no I's, no insurance, driving high, open containers, all that stuff. Was able to get my license back, man, and I got my license back through my program. And in order to get the job that that set me on this path, I had to have a license.
Had to have a license.
And
You
I
had
was-
to get it.
Had to get it, right? Had to pay a bunch of fines. Went through Clean Slate. Shout out to Clean Slate. They paid off $1,000. Yeah, and got my job, man. Did all that, and I remember we got our apartment and we used to walk our dog. And we would walk, we look at homes, and I'm like, that's a nice home. And one day, man, we were walking. I was like, watch, I'm gonna buy us a home. And it just kind of stuck in my head, and I just checked with my bank, and it was the beginning of COVID, man, and fucked around and fucked around.
Fucked around. They say, yeah, Mr. Roy, Mr.
Yes.
Moore, we can actually pull it off for you.
But to your point, when we spoke about it earlier, I was lucky enough not to come in. You know, I never been to jail. I didn't really have no credit. I didn't have bad credit, so I was able to build
Well,
my
no
credit.
credit's better than bad credit.
Better than bad credit, and so I was lucky in that way. So I was able to build my credit up pretty good. But bought a house, man, and yeah, man.
So what's that like being a homeowner? That's something I haven't got to experience yet. You know, you got to do yard work and you got to
Yard
remodel
work.
stuff. And
Shit, I'm doing that right now. Gotta replace my subflooring, so I'm about to redo my bathroom. Just upgrade it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But you did experience homeowners. You bought a home years ago. You guys did, remember?
we did, but I didn't buy a home.
You didn't buy a
You know, we was in it together. It's different.
It's
and
different.
I didn't go to the bank. I didn't get the
Right,
loan. I
right.
didn't sign the papers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So yes and no.
Yes and no.
You know.
Yeah. But once again, if y'all could do it, that inspired me to do it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But it's a different beast, man. Yeah, I get out there, I do yard work. You know what I mean? I invest in things like weed whackers, and, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Do I want a gas or electric on my lawnmower? You know,
Yeah.
just weird stuff.
Uh-huh.
But I take pride in that today, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's tight, man. Yeah, I'm proud of you, bro, man. I like coming to your house and saying my boy owns this place.
Yeah, man.
You know,
Yeah. About to upgrade it. It's my first home. It ain't my forever home.
and ain't the last one.
And it ain't the last one.
That's the one.
Right.
You got to start somewhere.
Yep.
You know, man, this is fun, bro.
Yeah.
I would have never thought I would like being on this side of the camera.
Yeah.
I've been on the other side for so long and just chilling in the background. And
But it's
sometimes people think something wrong with me because we'll be sitting around. I won't say one word.
won't say one
I
word.
won't say one word. I'll just be sitting back chilling and just
Yeah.
absorbing it all. But
Yeah, and they've
if you
been
know
quiet
me,
his whole life. Yeah, that's you.
I don't really just talk to be talking.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Some people just like to talk and they just talk about anything. And for me, if a lot of people just having a conversation, and I'll chime in if it's something I need to say or if I feel like it's something worth saying.
Yeah.
But I'm a chiller by nature.
By nature.
And so it's gonna trip me out being.
Yeah. If anybody knows you, they know that you're gonna get a sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you might be like, "Oh, okay, that's all you got from me," but it's profound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So the spotlight shows where it's at, y'all. Oh, this is fun. It's getting close to the end, but I do have something special for you.
Do you? What
I
you got
do.
for me?
Well, you know we got a documentary coming.
We've been working on it for a while. Y'all got a lot of.
My bro Justin has been putting in major work and major hours on that thing.
Many years.
Documentary it's a beast, and I get people asking me all the time, when you gonna put the documentary out?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put it out when it's ready.
When it's ready.
And it's done right. I'm not just gonna put something out to be putting something out.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason why I ain't put the full album out yet, because I don't want to just put it out to be putting it out. And so I'm gonna put the full album out when the full documentary's done.
And that's always been the vision.
Yeah.
That's always been the vision.
And they kind of go hand in hand. But that's why I'm glad we put the EP out, the Honesty EP out. If y'all ain't got it, go check it out on any streaming platforms. It's there for you. Yeah, so we're going to get into this teaser.
Let's get into it. But, the story kept on evolving.
It did, so that's another good reason.
Right.
It's because it's still going.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I was laying in bed one time and I watched CNN.
Yes. Oh.
And so CNN was on and I wasn't watching the TV, but I heard a voice. I'm like, what? Is that Third on CNN? What's
CNN,
going on here?
man,
What was
yeah.
CNN doing following you around?
Man, because the work I do, man, they wanted to know about the gun violence in the city of Portland, and they reached out to some elected officials, and they said, you got to speak to Roy Moore.
That's the man.
That's the man.
That's crazy.
And so I was able to do a segment, a story on CNN about the work that I do here, here in the town, addressing gun violence. And to that point, I'm being nominated for a national award, man, in September out in Chicago.
Wow.
At a conference for this work.
That's hard.
So it's weird, right? It's like
true.
from honesty to this work,
It was meant to be.
It's meant to be.
It must have been the calling.
Blessed.
Yeah. CNN, Fox. You've been all on the news. I don't know how many phone calls I've been getting. Is that Roy on the news?
Hey, man.
So yeah, that's what he do.
That's what I do. Right.
So yeah, let's get into the teaser here, and then we'll come back and wrap this thing up.
Hey, look, man, but I got one more that means a lot to me. And if I don't do this one, she would be mad at me. He would be mad at me. He was my manager. So let me go ahead and get this one off my chest. This one is really deep. This is one that's like means something to me. It's about some real life shit. And if y'all can travel down this little journey, I was fucked up and I was going through some shit. So I'm gonna give it to you guys. I hope you can feel it, man. It's some real life shit. What these niggas want, what they want, what they want, what they want from. I don't know what they want from. I don't know what these niggas want, what they want, what they want, what they want from. And I don't know, but I got a hunch, like the back of Notre Dame. When it comes to rap, I'm what they want, cause I'm in here. Real game, my accolades paved the way. When I was in my prime, pros and cons, the highest seller. Local group of all times, I've done it all for this rap shit. From being signed to a major label to battle with niggas across the country, throwing niggas down on the table. What else I gotta do to get the respect that I'm due? Cause I was signed in 94, but I've been rapping since 92.
Walk into a space, wonder will I ever last? My mind going down, I'm caught up in the jam. It's like around and around like a merry-go, right? And it sounds like I'm caught up in the drama. Fuck that. Do it for my mama, I'm a child. I'm trying to get back. Feed his stomach, then I punch it. I'm gonna do it for nothing. Grab the mic and get the fucking the function because of something. I'm gonna do it for my niggas. I'm gonna do it for my squad. I'm gonna do it for me. Somebody help me, God. I need an angel to touch my shoulders. I'm getting older. Nights is harder. Nights is hotter. Then they colder. And I go to sleep with a dream. And I think of my dreams that I want to achieve. They don't add up. What can I do besides bleed in these streets? Because I'm throwing up my set. Wondering who's gonna die next. Try and get respect and I'm upset. My stomach is aching because I ain't eating much. Popping pills every day. Like today is my lunch and I make a sandwich thinking it's gonna hold me over. Days is colder, getting older. Got the world on my shoulders. Feeling like home sometimes and sometimes feeling like a bum. Here I come like fucking here I come.
He'd always be walking around the house like he was talking to himself. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, Dad, I'm rapping. I was rapping. He told me he could rap.
He was like, man, I wrote a rap. You want to hear it?
I was just like, man, you can't rap, I'm a rapper. And he hit a freestyle.
I was like, all right. I was shocked.
Real nigga tell his friend goodbye when he shot in the neck and he ready to die. Rest in peace. Rap nigga that'll grab the mic, but I spit you my light, tell your dogs in tight. Yeah. When I'm iced, I'm a blind to shine. Pants sagging cause the pockets full of money is mine. When I smoke, they call the fireman, then hand me a big slider so I can fire again. Yo.
I was like, okay, you got, you can rap. He was always articulate. He always wanted to be a journalist growing up. That was his passion to be, to do journalism. So he was always good with his words.
Words he didn't know, he would go grab the dictionary and he would look up that word and find out the definition. And the next time I would try to stump him with it, he would know what that word meant, and boom, and his freestyle would be all that.
You see him now, he get in his zone, moving his hands, he rapping. I thought he was off.
The Men Building Men, we are the conscious. This is a social media campaign that we created to bring awareness to the spike of the gun violence that's happening in our city.
New changes, and one of the most innovative and exciting is this community-led We Are the Caution campaign.
And this right here is the plan of action. We're asking our community to come out and stand with us and support us. All real meaningful change was spearheaded by the community. This is what we're going to do to stand up against gun violence. Man, we are men building men. Brothers that came together, and we want to start connecting with our young men.
Government can be an engaged partner, but we cannot solve this problem. The community can solve this problem.
Man. So,
Man,
what do you think about that?
it's crazy, man.
It's crazy, huh?
Powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Powerful. I mean, yeah. It's been a hell of a journey, man.
Man.
It's been a hell of a journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to see some of that, if I can be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it makes me sad, man.
Makes you sad.
Yeah.
That's where you was at.
Well, that and Milo, where he's at.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
in our journey, man.
Mm-hmm.
Us being kids, and
Mm-hmm.
we fully grown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a place in my life to where I'm happy,
Mm-hmm.
and I never thought I'd be happy.
Be happy, yeah.
You know what I mean? After
Yeah.
all that loss thing,
Mhm.
after all that, like that was a big deal for me. Like I just was, I was used to having pain in some way. You know what I mean? And not to have that no more is a trip.
Yeah.
It's
crazy, huh?
man. Crazy.
Yeah.
Powerful.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So this has been fun, brother. This has been good stuff, man.
Next chapter, right?
The next chapter, yeah.
Next chapter.
Yeah.
The podcast world.
The podcast world. So that's where I'm diving into now.
Mm-hmm.
I got to really figure out I need a big show.
You got that.
So that's going to be my show.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's is going to be the big one I've been wanting.
Mm-hmm.
I got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like you said, you've been on a long journey of a whirlwind. Of being down and out.
We've been on.
We have. Yes, we have.
Freshman year in high school, we met.
Yeah. That's crazy.
We've been on a long journey. You've been there. You talk about Rachel. You've been there the whole time too.
Yeah.
You ain't left my side since that day, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. You already know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like you said, that's pretty powerful, man.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad I'm starting this chapter for me with the podcast. It's because now I'll be able to share a little bit about my story.
Mm-hmm.
I've been, like you said, I've always been a quiet person. I don't really care to have people all in my business. I'll still keep my personal, but it's time for me to open up a little about my journey in business and how I got to here at the GMP Podcast Group Studios.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to do big things here, man. We had our first meetup the other day.
Mm-hmm.
The GMP Podcast Group Studio meetup. It was a big time success. Shout out to Heather Zeitz-Wolf.
Yeah.
She was the mastermind topic of the night. She dropped some jewels on us. It was lovely. We had a good turnout. We can't wait to do the next one.
Yeah.
September 1st will be the next one. Yeah, man, that's good.
Well, the thing about it is you gave me my platform to tell my story.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's time for you to help other people and give them a platform.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
So you know me, I've always been into helping people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always like to help people. And so that's another reason why I'm doing this podcast is because I want to help not only share my story, but I want to share the stories of other successful entrepreneurs and podcasters who's been doing things the right way and can help bring some value to other people to try and help them along their journey that they're on. Because you got to do it together. It's got to be a community of support, you know. And so that's the big thing with the meetups is building a community of Portland podcasters who can network and support each other. Because that's what it takes in podcasting. You got to have some support.
Yeah.
If ain't no one supporting you, you don't have nothing. And so that's why I'm going to starting this spotlight show. It's to shine light on some people, brands and businesses. And so what better way to start with you, which is how I got it started.
Yep.
You know, and which got me started with the GMP.
Yep.
GMP Podcast Group. If I'm not mistaken, it's the first black-owned podcast production company.
Respect.
Definitely in Portland.
Respect.
So that's what we're doing over here on Burnside, 2406 East Burnside Street.
The building is dope. The production is dope. Yeah.
Right.
Something
Caddy
special.
corner to screen door, a couple of doors down from that door, right next door to Zoom Care. If you're into podcasting, come down and holler at us. And what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start giving out free strategy sessions.
Yeah.
So for no cost, you just come down and we talk strategy, whether it's podcasts, whether it's business, whether it's life.
That's good. That's good.
Because that's something else I want to get into is some life coaching. Basically, that's what, you know.
What happened?
Organically with me and you is kind of life coaching, you know, in a sense.
Yeah.
Help you get your life back. And that's all I ever wanted. I wanted my best friend back. So, yeah, we've been doing some stuff over here at GMP. We've been doing some youth podcast workshops. Believe it or not,
dope.
the kids love podcasting. And so I would love to get into
The next
doing some
generation
more.
of podcasters.
The next generation of podcasters.
That's dope.
They say you got to give back to the next generation. And so that's what we're doing with the youth podcast workshops. So can't wait to get into doing more of that with the kids. We got some other projects we're working on. But up next is the Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show.
Right.
So you guys, it's here now.
It's here now. Yeah.
So if you're listening, if you're watching, make sure you go to thorncitysyndicate.com, subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, on YouTube, follow on Instagram at Thorn City Podcast Guy, at GMP Podcast Group, at Thorn City Syndicate. Those are our socials. What's your socials?
At Third Twin Portland. You already know. Third Twin YouTube. Look it up, 3RDTWIN. Roy Moore on Facebook, and be looking out for that Honesty History in the Making album and the History in the Making documentary.
It's coming.
It's coming.
So, first episode in the books. That's crazy.
Right? We did that.
I did it. I got it out the way.
Got it out the way. You did good, too.
I did all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get
Oh,
better.
man,
I'm gonna get comfortable.
But it's comfortable because it's us. That's why it's
us,
perfect
yep.
that it was us.
That's why it was perfect that we did the first one, me and you, because it's easy and we can just talk about, you know, our story. It's a powerful one. I can't wait to get the whole documentary to you guys and the full album, and show y'all why I believe the best rappers here sitting with me. So, man, thank you guys for tuning in. Please stay connected for future episodes of the Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Thorn City Podcast Guy. Holla at your boy.
Yes, sir.
What man? What power? Who do?
I appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of the Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show, where we network and build connections, interviews, and discussions. Until next time, holla at your boy, Thorn City Podcast Guy. I'm out.
You remind me of a man.